हरे कृष्ण। आराध्यो भगवान् ब्रजेश तनया तद्धाम वृन्दावनम् रम्या काचिदुपासना ब्रजवधू वर्गेण या कल्पिता। श्रीमद् भागवतं प्रमाणममलं प्रेमा पुमार्तो महान्। श्री चैतन्य महाप्रभुर्मतमिदं तत्रादरो न परः तत्रादरो न परः। जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी गोपीजन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी। जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी गोपीजन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी। यशोदानंदन व्रज जन रंजन यशोदानंदन व्रज जन रंजन। यमुना तीरवनचारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी गोपीजन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी। यशोदानंदन व्रज जन रंजन यमुना तीरवनचारी। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jai Krishna Balaram, Krishna Balaram, Jaya Vrindavana Dham. Jaya Radha, Shama Sundar Radha, Shama Sundar Radhe. Jaya Gauranitai, Gauranitai, Jaya Gauranitai. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, Prabhupada. Nitai Gaur Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. श्री श्री हरिनाम संकीर्तन की, श्रील प्रभुपाद की। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयम् उदीरयेत्। नष्टप्रायेषु अभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवतीरुत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी। कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकी नंदनाय च नन्दगोपकुमाराय गोविन्दाय नमो नमः। ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुम् उन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूप कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरुः श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरुन् वैष्णवांश। श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगण रघुनाथामितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपदान् सहगण ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितां च। नमो ॐ विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्तस्वामिनिति नामिने। नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणि निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणि। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण। I would like to welcome all the devotees for the morning class today, and I offer my humble obeisances unto the lotus feet of all the Vaishnavis here. Kindly bless me so that I will be able to read this shloka and purports by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 10, and the chapter 89. The title of this chapter is Krishna and Arjuna retrieve a Brahmana's son. So we are reading from this 10th canto, 89th chapter, verse number 10 and 11 today. Kindly recite after me. पुनीहि सह लोकं मां, पुनीहि सह लोकं मां, लोकपालांश मद्गतान्, लोकपालांश मद्गतान्, पादोदकेन भवतस्, पादोदकेन भवतस्, तीर्थानां तीर्थकारिणां, तीर्थानां तीर्थकारिणां, अद्याहं भगवल्लक्ष्म्या, अद्याहं भगवल्लक्ष्म्या, आसमेकान्तभाजनम्, आसमेकान्तभाजनम्, वत्सत्तुरसि मे भूतिर्, वत्सत्तुरसि मे भूतिर्, भवत्पादहतां हसः, भवत्पादहतां हसः, पुनीहि सह लोकं मां, लोकपालांश मद्गतान्, पादोदकेन भवतस्, तीर्थानां तीर्थकारिणां, अद्याहं भगवन् लक्ष्म्या, आसमेकान्तभाजनम्, वत्सत्तुरसि मे भूतिर्, भवत्पादहतां हसः पुनीहि सह लोकं मां लोकपालांश मद्गतान् पादोदकेन भवतस् तीर्थानां तीर्थकारिणा अद्याहं भगवन् लक्ष्म्या आसमेकान्तभाजनम् वत्स्यत्युरसि मे भूतिर् भवत्पादहतां हसः. Kindly read one shloka each. पुनीहि सह लोकं मां लोकपालांश मद्गतान् पादोदकेन भवते तीर्थानां तीर्थकारिणा अद्याहं भगवन् लक्ष्म्या आसमेकान्तभाजनम् वत्सत्युरसि मे भूतिर् भवत्पादहतां हसः. बताएं. पुनीहि सह लोकं मां लोकपालांश मद्गतान् पादोदकेन भवतस् तीर्थानां तीर्थकारिणा अद्याहं भगवन् लक्ष्म्या आसमेकान्तभाजनम् वत्स्यत्युरसि मे भूतिर् भवत्पादहतां हसः. Hare Krishna. The meaning of the words meaning of this shloka, synonyms. Punihi, please purify. Saha, along with. Lokam, my planet. Mam, me. Loka, of various planets. Palan, the rulers. Cha, I'm. Madgatan, who are devoted to me. Pada, which has washed the feet. Udakena, by the water. Bhavataha, of your good self. Tirthanam, of holy places, of pilgrimage. Tirtha, their sacredness. Karina, which creates. Adya, today. Aham, I. Bhagavan, O my Lord. Lakshmyaha, of Lakshmi. Asam, have become. Eka anta, exclusive. Bhajanam, the shelter. Vachyati, will reside. Urasi, on the chest. May, my. Bhutihi, the goddess of fortune. Bhavata, your. Pada, by the foot. Hata, eradicated. Amsaha, whose sinful reactions. Translation and purport by the disciples of Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki. Translation, please purify me. My realm and the realms of the universal rulers devoted to me by giving us the water that has washed your feet. This holy water is indeed what makes all places of pilgrimage sacred. Today, my Lord, I have become the exclusive shelter of the goddess of fortune, Lakshmi. She will consent to reside on my chest because your foot has rid it of sins. Purport. Continuing his comments, Srila Prabhupada says, the so-called Brahmanas of the Kali Yuga are sometimes very proud that they can touch the chest of the Lord Vishnu with their feet. But when Bhrigu Muni touched the chest of Lord Vishnu with his feet, it was different because although it was the greatest offense, Lord Vishnu, being greatly magnanimous, did not take it very seriously. Some editions of Srimad Bhagavatam contain the following verse between texts 11 and 12, and Srila Prabhupada also includes it in Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. His summary study of the 10th canto. Ativa komalatata charanau te mahamune iti bhuktva vipra charanau mardhyayam svena panina. The Lord said to the Brahmana Bhrigu, my dear sir, O great sage, your feet are indeed very tender. Saying this, Lord Vishnu began massaging the Brahmana's feet with his own hands. Mukam karoti vachalam pangum langhetim girim yat kripa tamaham vande Sri Gurum Deenatarini Paramananda Madhava Sri Chaitanya Ishvara. Hare Krishna. So I once again welcome all the devotees for the morning Srimad Bhagavatam class today. The title of this chapter is Krishna and Arjuna Retrieve a Brahmana's Sons. Although we are discussing a very loving Leela of the Lord is manifesting here from his heart the Vipra Bhakti, the love for the Brahmanas, love for his devotees. But although this chapter name is Krishna and Arjuna Retrieve a Brahmana's Son, there are two Leelas which are combined in this chapter. Now, this is a very beautiful chapter because hidden inside this chapter there are 4 glorious temples in India which are connected to this chapter. So one is Mata Mahalakshmi temple in Kolhapur, also connected with this chapter. Sri Tirupati Venkatesh Balaji temple in Tirupati, and Sri Padmavati temple, and also Sri Purna Trayesha. This is a very unique temple in Kerala which is also connected with this chapter. So if time permits, we'll like to discuss a little later. So in this incident here, as we have been hearing Srimad Bhagavatam, this chapter since a couple of days, this chapter begins with, on the bank of Saraswati river, so many sages are assembled, and there was a conflict that arises as to decide who is the supreme among the Trinity, Lord Vishnu, Lord Brahma, and Lord Shiva. So in order to decide the supremacy of the Trinity, the sages assembled at Saraswati river. They choose Bhrigu Rishi. They depute him to decide or take a test of the 3. And then Bhrigu Rishi sets out a journey and he goes to Brahma Loka. And as we have heard, that in order to test Brahmaji, he did not show any respect to him. Brahmaji was waiting for his son. And when Brahmaji saw that such a learned son did not offer obeisances even, so he became furious. And immediately when the Bhrigu Rishi saw that Brahmaji has lost his control, and he left that place. Brahmaji was about to curse, but Bhrigu Rishi left that place. So he tested that Brahmaji could not bear this insult. And then he goes to Shiva Loka, and Lord Shiva was sitting with Mata Parvati. And when Shiva heard that Bhrigu Rishi, his own brother, coming So he got up from his seat and he wanted to embrace Lord Shiva to welcome him. But immediately Bhrigu Rishi rejected it and he started speaking some insulting words to Lord Shiva. And Shiva also became very furious. He lifted his trident and he wanted to kill Bhrigu Rishi. So at that time, Mata Parvati consoled Lord Shiva to forgive him because he is a Brahmana. And Bhrigu Rishi tested both of them that they could not control their temper. How can they be supreme? And then finally, Bhrigu Rishi comes to Lord Vishnu, Vaikuntha. Lord Vishnu was sleeping on the lap of Mata Parvati, putting his head on the lap of Parvati, Mata, and he was reclining. And Bhrigu Rishi went with a very fierce, act and hit the chest of the Lord with his foot. And he started provoking words. Get up, O Lord. You are always sleeping. Whenever the devotees see you are always sleeping. Karanodakshayi, Garbhodakshayi, Kshirodakshayi. So, when the Lord saw him, immediately Lord got up. Lord was situated in Shuddha Satoguna. So he did not lose his temper. Immediately Lord got up from his seat and then he caught hold of the lotus feet of the Bhrigu Rishi and started consoling him. Oh my Lord, I did not know that you are coming. I'm very sorry for not receiving you properly. With such a Solomon bird, the Lord started consoling and he started massaging the foot of the Bhrigu Rishi. It's a very, with a compassion and with love, Lord started massaging the foot of Bhrigu Rishi. So in this verse today that we are reading, please purify me. The Lord with a very kind word, he is praying the Bhrigu Rishi, my Lord, please purify me. My realm and the realms of the universal rulers devoted to me by giving us the water that has washed your feet. This holy water is indeed what makes all places of pilgrimage sacred. Today, my Lord, I have become the exclusive shelter of the goddess of fortune. Lakshmi ji, she will consent to reside on my chest because your foot has rid it of sins. Such a kind words. When Lord started speaking like this, the Bhrigu Rishi, he became very cool. And his throat was choked up. He could not speak. He started shedding the tears. And then Bhrigu understood that the Lord's love for Brahmana is, million times more than love of a mother. Just like in a womb, when the baby is in the womb of a mother, incidentally sometimes the baby kicks the tummy. But mother does not take it as an offense. Mother sometimes feels very happy. Or if the kick is little harsh, the mother worries. Oh my God, the baby is not comfortable inside. So sometimes he goes to doctor. This is out of love of that baby. Similarly, the Lord, although this is a great offense by Bhrigu Rishi, to touch the feet of the Lord, the chest of the Lord with the feet. But the Lord is so magnanimous and he loves the Brahmanas, devotees. He started consoling. Similarly, there are so many incidents. The same Lord whose lotus feet is worshipped throughout the universe by the sages, Munis, Mata Lakshmi herself. Lakshmi, goddess of fortune, Lakshmi Devi, has made the lotus feet of the Lord her own house. Sri Niketana. Niketana means house. Lakshmi ji has made the lotus feet of the Lord her own house. And that Lord today, with a just common Brahmin coming and hitting his chest, and he's praying to excuse him. Now there are the Devatas who have prayed the Lord, glorifying the lotus feet of the Lord. So when the demigods feel that we are unable to carry out the activities that are given to us by the Lord, and they go to the Lord and pray, and they request the Lord to, give His mercy for making them qualified to do their activities. And they have prayed, this is a very beautiful prayer in Canto 3, chapter 5. Na mamate deva padarvindam prapannatapopashamata patram. Na mamate deva padarvindam prapannatapopashamata patram. Yanmulaketa yatayonjusoru samsara dukkham bahiru kshipanti. The demigod said, "O Lord, your lotus feet are like an umbrella for the surrendered souls, protecting them from all the miseries of the material existence. All the sages under that shelter throw off all material miseries. We therefore offer our respectful obeisances unto your lotus feet." The Lord's lotus feet, just like an umbrella, which protects one from the heavy rain or scorching sun. Similarly, the Lord's lotus feet, the one who surrenders to the Lord's lotus feet, it's able to eradicate all the sins committed by that person and protects him from all the miseries. So this is the glory of the lotus feet of the Lord. And the sages, the great munis, taking the shelter of that lotus feet, the lotus feet of the Lord are themselves the shelter of all places of pilgrimage. The great clear-minded sages, carried by the wings of the Vedas, always search after the nest of your lotus-like face. Some of them surrender to your lotus feet at every step by taking shelter of the best of rivers, which can deliver one from all sinful reaction. So this is the glory of the Lord's lotus feet. And the water that washes the feet of the Lord, that purifies the entire universe. And that Lord today massaging the feet of a Brahmana and begging pardon for not receiving him properly. So this is the great quality of the Lord. So similarly, when Narad Muni goes to Dwarka just to see how the Lord is staying with all his consorts in Dwarka, when Lord was sitting in his palace and when he saw that Narad Muni is coming, immediately Lord got up and then he welcomed Narad Muni, made him to sit on his own seat, and Lord washed with love and care the lotus feet of the Narad Muni. Narad Muni was bewildered. Narad Muni was also into tears. So this is how Lord respects the Brahmanas. So this chapter, whole chapter, talks about Vijay Bhakti, how the Lord loves Brahmanas, the devotees. In 11th canto, Lord is telling Uddhava. So Lord says, with the dust of my devotees' lotus feet, I desire to purify the material worlds, which are situated within me. Thus, I always follow the footstep of my pure devotees, who are free from all personal desire, wrapped in thought of my pastime, peaceful without any feelings of enmity and of equal disposition everywhere. So this is a very beautiful shloka Lord himself has recited to Uddhava. Nirapeksham munim shantam nirvairam samadarshanam anurajamyaham nityam Puyayetangirenubihi. The Lord is saying, I always walk behind my pure devotees. So that sometimes when the devotees walk, the dust of his lotus feet is off. Let the dust of the lotus feet of my devotee also fall onto me. And it will also purify me. And all the universe that I carry in my abdomen will be purified by the dust of the lotus feet of my devotees. This is how the Lord loves the pure devotees, the Brahmanas. Similarly, Lord said, I have established this strict rule that one can enjoy my transcendental bliss only through devotional service, obtained from the dust of the lotus feet of my devotees. Since I always desire to experience my own bliss, I will observe that standard procedure and accept the dust of my devotees' feet. This is how the Lord loves his devotees. Now, Akrurji, the great devotee of the Lord, when Kamsa sent Akrurji to bring Lord Krishna and Balram to Mathura, Akrurji knew that Krishna is the Supreme Lord. And Kamsa is inviting his own Kala by bringing Lord Krishna and Balram to Mathura. And Akrurji was waiting for this opportunity. When will I get an opportunity to see the lotus feet of the Lord? So while going from Mathura to coming to Vrindavan, Akrurji has lost in his thoughts and is meditating on the lotus feet of the Lord. Akrurji says, Yadarchitam Brahma Bhavadibhi Surai Shriyacha Devya Munibhi Sasatvatai Gocharanaya Anuchara Sharadvane Yad Gopikanam Kuchakumkumankitam. Those lotus feet are worshipped by Brahma, Shiva, and all other demigods, and even by the goddess of fortune Lakshmi Devi, and also by the great sages and Vaishnavas. Upon those lotus feet, the Lord walks about the forest while heading the cows with his companion. And those feet are smeared with the kunkuma from the gopis' breast. The whole universe is behind the lotus feet of the Lord. And the Lord is behind the lotus feet of his devotees. When the cows walk in this Vrindavana, the Lord walks behind the cows, thinking that the dust of my devotees purify me. When Chatushkumar came to Vaikuntha, the door of Vaikuntha, and the doorkeepers Jay and Vijay, seeing them, they didn't allow them to go inside. And immediately the Chatushkumara became very furious, and they cursed them to become the demons. That time the Lord came running from the inner chamber of Vaikuntha, and then with very pleasing words, Lord is consoling the Chatushkumara and requesting to pardon his servants. And then Lord is telling about his own lotus feet. The Lord continued, because I am the servitor of my devotees, My lotus feet have become so sacred that they immediately wipe out all sins. And I have acquired such a disposition that the goddess of fortune does not even leave me. Even though I have no attachment for her, while others praise her beauty and observe sacred vows to secure from her even a slight fear. Lord is saying, my lotus feet on their own, they are not so important. But the devotees have made it so precious. They have made it so auspicious just by washing and serving the lotus feet. The devotees have made it so auspicious, which can purify the whole universe. That's why Lakshmi ji also does not leave this lotus feet. This is what Lord has to say about his own lotus feet. Now the same Lord today, even the Bhrigu Muni has offended the Lord. The Lord is consoling him. He is massaging his feet and then begging forgiveness. Now Sridhara Swamiji writes about the shloka, pleased by the Lord Solomon's words, Bhrigu remained silent, unable to recite praises as his throat was choked up with the tears. Thus, according to opinion of ancient authorities, Bhrigu Muni did not commit an offense, since he was like a puppet being made to dance on the stage of the Lord's transcendental pleasure pastimes by the puppeteer named Vishnu. So it was the Lord's desire, and according to Lord's wish, Bhrigu Muni has acted, and it's not an offense. This is the love of the Lord for the Brahmanas. The Lord wanted to manifest this love of Brahmana through this incident. So that's why the Lord is worshipped in the whole universe. Namo Brahmanya Devaya, Go Brahmanya Hitaya, Jagad Hitaya Krishnaya, Govindaya Namo. There's a similar incident in Chaitanya Charitamrita. In Chaitanya Mangala, Lochandas Thakurji has very nicely explained the Dvija Bhakti of the Lord, the love of Lord towards the Brahmanas. Once, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu Vishwambar, Imai Pandit, wanted to go to Gaya. So Mother Sachi will not allow him to go to Gaya. So with the pretext that I will offer Pinda to Pitras, consoling his mother, Lord went to Gaya. And while going, there were so many other pilgrims, Brahmins also going to Gaya. So Mother Sachi asked Nimai to join with them. So Vishwambara went along with all the Brahmanas to Gaya. So when he went to Gaya, he offered the Pindas with the help of the Brahmanas there. He worshipped the demigods. Just all the kriyas that one follows as a grahastha. So Lord performed all those activities there. And then one of the pilgrim in that during the worship of the demigod, there was one pilgrim who was having a critic, inside his heart. He was criticizing one of the Brahmana. Although the Brahmana, he was performing all the worship properly with an authority. But one of the pilgrim who also went from Navadvipa, he was having a critic mood about that Brahmana. So the Lord understood this. Vishwamara, he understood this. And he wanted to manifest from his heart his love for the Brahmanas. So immediately, the Lord's body, the temperature of the Lord's body became so high that as if it is burning with high temperature. And Lord started shivering. Oh, what has happened? I think I have committed some sins. I offended the demigods while performing the puja. He called all the pilgrims, please come here and listen. I think I have committed some sin, I have committed some offense. What sin I have committed? It seems all my pious, activity have been washed away by the offense that I have committed. Lord started shivering. All the pilgrims, they were frightened to see Lord Chaitanya. Then Lord said, I have to do something, to prevent this temperature going further. So immediately he called one Brahmana who was offended, and he washed his feet with the Ganges water there, and he drank the water. With the water that he washed the feet of that Brahmana. So immediately the Lord body became very cool and said, now I am peaceful. So the person, another Brahmana who was from Navadvipa, who was having a critic mood about that Brahmana, he felt very sorry inside. Oh my Lord, it was me who has committed an offense, but Lord took it on his side. So he showed the Dvija Bhakti. He manifested Dvija Bhakti. So that Brahmana who was having critic mood about that, another Brahmana, he said, Kutsita achara dekhi mora mana doshe, mora mana doshe tumi paile asantoshe. The Brahman from Navadvip came forward and begged his pardon for offense. He said, my Lord, I committed an offense towards the Tirthi Brahmana in my heart, but I know it caused a pain in your heart. And he said, Ekhane Brahmana Bhakti Prakashile Tumi Aparadha Kailu Dosha Kshami Be Apani. You have truly manifested the Dvija Bhakti, the love towards the Brahmanas, the respect towards the Brahmanas from your heart. I am an offender, kindly forgive me. Then he said, Tumi se Brahmanya Dvija Bhakti Adhikari Bhrugu Muni Pada Chinna Nija Vakshe Dhari. He remembered that Bhrugu Muni's lotus feet imprints on the chest of the Lord. And he said, you are the supreme Brahman who truly love and worship Brahmanas, for which you are qualified and an authority. Your chest is marked with the footprint of Bhrugu Muni. Now the Lord is glorified for having imprinted his chest with the lotus feet of a Brahmana. And here in this shloka, the Lord is saying, Lakshmi, she will consent to reside on my chest. Without taking the Lakshmi's permission, Lord is telling on her behalf, she will consent to reside on my chest because you have purified my chest by touching with your lotus feet. This is the greatness of the Lord. So with these kind words and the love for Brahmana, the Bhrugu Muni came and he narrated this to all the sages on the Saraswati bank, the river, and they all were pleased. So this is how this incident concludes. In this whole chapter, it's only in 20 shlokas, this Leela is explained. But remaining 45, in 45 verses, there is another incident. It appears as if there is no connection between these two. Sukadeva Goswami is explaining about the Arjuna retrieving the dead son of a Brahmana. Another incident, it appears there is no connection. Suddenly there is a break between. But yes, deep inside this chapter, in that part of the chapter also, the Lord is manifesting his love for Brahmana. How the Lord loves Brahmana. And he worships Brahmana. The same thing, that is how these two things are connected. It appears as if the Sukadeva Goswami remembered this incident and that he has connected both of this. So, it's a very beautiful chapter which connects so many temples in India, and these are the glorious temples. And maybe in subsequent time, we may discuss the glories of all these temples. Thank you very much. Thank you. So if you have any comments, questions.
Is it that the sages didn't really know about Narayan or Vishnu, who's above the demigods, and was their understanding limited that Vishnu could be God, or Brahma could be God, or Shiva could be God, or which one has better qualities? Isn't the sages do they understand? I mean, do they understand according to how the Bhagavatam reveals that Ishvara Parama Krishna Satchidananda Vigraha?
This is a very question with a deep meaning here. Why the sages with so much of knowledge are today, they have a conflict to decide who is the supreme. But the Sridhara Swami says in one comment that it is the Lord's desire to put a confusion in the hearts of these sages and to manifest his love of Dvija Bhakti. And that's why Lord had made their mind in that. Just like in Arjuna in the battlefield, the Lord made Arjuna to get into confusion because he wanted to teach Bhagavad Gita on the battlefield for the benefit of the entire universe. Similarly, it appears it's the Lord's pastime to show that who is the supreme, and also to manifest his Dvija Bhakti, how the Brahmanas are great. And although at the same time, the sages may be knowing it well, but to show to the entire universe, they also have, acted this way to show that the Lord is the supreme. And going further, again the Shiva and the Brahmaji, they have cooperated in this Leela, accepting a defeat and then making the Lord supreme in this. Thank you very much. Sorry.
Yes, Prabhu.
Yes.
I have two questions. The goddess of fortune resides at the lotus feet of Vishnu. It is said in the verse you quoted that even then the Lord has no attachment for her. I'd like to understand this. It's like if we say Krishna has no attachment for Radharani, it doesn't sit very well. How can it be said that the Lord has no attachment for his eternal counterpart?
It's just like, this shows the Lord's magnanimity. Just like if there is a father and his son, generally there is an attachment for their son or family members. So this is from the material perspective. The Lord is so magnanimous, the whole universe is after Lakshmi's, the mercy of the Lord, goddess of fortune. But Lakshmi is staying in my lotus feet. Although I do not have much attachment for her, but she never leaves. Lord wanted to show that how the devotees have made my lotus feet so auspicious. Although I do not have much attachment for her, but she never leaves because the devotees have purified. The Lord wanted to show his love for the other devotees than our own family member. Yes.
I get the point, but to go as far as saying I have no attachment is what beats me.
Okay.
And you have not covered that point. That it seems to me.
Yeah, this is what Lord meant it. This is what Lord meant it. Although I do not have attachment, but the devotees have made it, my lotus feet so auspicious, and she does not leave my lotus feet. This is what Lord has to say in this verse.
You have another question?
Yeah, the other question was the Lord says he gets purified with the dust of the lotus feet of his devotees. Is this to be understood that in some way the Lord needs to be purified, that he feels that way, that he is not always completely pure, and he gets benefit from being purified.
Yes, this is a very nice question, Prabhuji. Srila Prabhupada writes here in this shloka that people should not think that Lord will purify by the dust feet of the devotees, and devotees should not be proud that I am going to. It's Lord's magnanimity to show the respect for his devotees. Prabhupada writes here, the Lord is saying that the whole universe I am carrying in my abdomen. By walking behind the pure devotees, sometimes the dust of their lotus feet falls onto me, so that I will purify this universe which is inside my abdomen. This is what Prabhupada writes. But Lord actually telling Uddhavaji that my pure devotees are great. They even purify me. This is what Lord says. But Prabhupada is saying we should not think that way. It is because Lord's respect that because of his devotees, he is saying like that. But he says it is to purify the universe which he is carrying inside his abdomen.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you, Prabhuji, for this wonderful class. Prabhuji, as you have mentioned that Lord Vishnu is situated into Shuddha Sattva, and that's why he is able to tolerate when Bhrigu Muni kick on his chest. And Lord Brahma and Lord Shiva become agitated and they are not able to tolerate. But when we see in the case of Lord Balram, and Lord Balram is so furious when Romharsha was not giving respect to Lord Balram, then does Lord kill Romharsha ji. And when we see in the pastime of Rukmi, the Lord killed Rukmi because he was smiling and he was criticizing. So if anger is the criteria that who is able to tolerate the anger, he is the Supreme Lord. And then this is very contradictory in the characteristic and in the Leela of Lord Balram. So how to understand this?
Okay. Very good question. So sometimes Lord, apparently it appears that, Lord is not able to tolerate such a small thing. And here we are saying such a big thing. So it appears to be a contradiction. So at different places, Lord shows different activities, different leelas. So Lord is called as Asamordhva. Nobody can win. Nobody can be greater in any of the qualities, than the Lord. So when Bhrigu Muni has come to test the Lord, the tolerance, how can Lord be defeated in this test? So he showed the extreme end of the tolerance because he is Asamordhva. So similarly, during some pastime, the Lord shows an anger. It is as suitable to that pastime. The Lord shows the anger. But here is the test of the Lord for the tolerance. Who can defeat the Lord in this quality? So that's how he manifested here.
And Prabhuji, from the pastime of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, you mentioned that one of the Brahman from Navdeep, he became critical towards a Brahman who was doing the sacred rituals in Gaya. That's why the Lord shows from his pastime that he is he gives respect to all these Brahmans. But Prabhuji, from the pastime of Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Maharaj, and we have seen that many of the caste Brahmins have opposed Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Maharaj, and many of caste Brahmins have criticized Srila Prabhupada preaching initiative also. So when from the practical application, if we see any caste Brahmin who is involved into rituals, but if he is not up to mark of over a standard and the teachings given by Srila Prabhupada and the philosophy which we follow, then should we become critical and how we should react? Because they try to manipulate sometime and they try to cheat us also from the material angle. So how we should, because we are not from the platform of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, so how we should practically act if we see this kind of situation?
Yes, see, actually, when the Brahmana, if it's so-called Brahmana, but he is, he is not loving the Lord. He is not the devotee of the Lord. but he is misbehaving, that time all these great sages, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur or even Prabhupada, they do not tolerate anybody, who is against the will of the Lord. So that's why Prahlad Maharaj says, and Prabhupada used to quote these words. Prahlad Maharaj says, in front, he's praying, Narsingh Bhagavan, Vipra Dushat Guna Yutad Aravinda Nabha, Pada Aravinda Vimukhat, Swapacham Varishtam. If there is a Brahmana who is full with all the 12 qualities, there are 12 qualities of a good Brahmana, he is full with all the 12 qualities, but he is not a devotee of the Lord. Then instead of him, if there is another person who is a Shudra, who is born in the low class Shudra, and he is a devotee, that Shudra is much better than a Brahmana. Because the Shudra will not only relieve himself from this material world, he will also relieve all his forefathers. But the so-called Brahmana cannot relieve himself. So if there is a Brahmana, but he is not a devotee of the Lord, and that's why the Acharya wanted to show that even if it is a Brahmana, he is against Brahma Janati iti Brahmana. The true Brahmana is one who knows the Lord. But one who knows Lord, who is a devotee of the Lord, it's somebody who is criticizing, that is not good. Like that's what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said here. The Brahmana was performing all the worship with an authority. He was okay. But the another Brahmana misunderstood and he was critic about it. So that's why here Lord wanted to manifest the Dvija Bhakti. Thank you. Thank you. ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की, श्रील प्रभुपाद की, सभी भक्तों की।
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna,